When it comes to becoming a child of the night, there is two groups of people. Those that take longer to accept what they've become, to understand their powers. And then you have those that take to it like a fish to water. However, there are times when you need to recenter yourself, to learn about your past and present in order to have a bountiful future. Episode 11, Reconnecting. Hello, Echo. How are we tonight?
I'm alright. Thought we were on, if I remember correctly, we were on our way to either the board game cafe or to, I don't know.
So, if I recall correctly, you had realized it was getting late and you needed to go pick up a certain young person.
Fair.
To bring them home.
Sorry, it was on my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I suppose we should go pick up our humans.
That is an option.
But other than that, I'm not doing too bad.
For the sake of expediency, you had picked up your humans. Neither of them were drunk or high. They were completely safe, as was to be expected in the Velvet Pussycat, especially under the watchful eyes of the head of security. You had brought them home with nary an issue, as well as done a bit more research into these two places, as I imagine you would have done. With the help of Rhonda, you actually discovered that nightlife has been having some issues as of late. The food ratings have tanked. Drinks have been starting to taste weird. Some people even have rumors going around that they've been spiked repeatedly over the past few weeks. Grab a Latte, on the other hand, has been around for a couple of years now. Spotless reputation. Aside from the odd drunk student that's come in, but typical board game cafe. It is the next night. You awake as the sun sets. A heavy feeling on your body, on your chest, as you realize the dog Bingo is sleeping on top of you yet again.
That's a fail on the hunger dice.
You get a little bit hungrier. You are now at hunger 2.
Indeed.
You could definitely eat. Bingo, feeling the microscopic movement, actually looks at you, licks up the side of your face.
I'll reach down and give the dog a pet. Scratch behind the ears.
He loves it.
And I guess I'll pull myself out of bed.
Bingo slowly gets out of bed, going through the slightly ajar door. You do see from your door that the kitchen light is still on.
I will... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You first.
Seeing that the kitchen light is still on, I will make my way out to the kitchen.
As you make your way out to the kitchen, you are greeted with what appears to be a PG version of a Mexican standoff.
And I will take a look.
Corey and Marisol are both sat at the kitchen table, armed with squirt bottles. Both of them having wet faces, with stacks of cue cards in front of them. Marisol slowly holds up a cue card that has the phrase, "a red pen," on it. Corey, looking at it, slowly starts to speak Rouge Pencil before suddenly getting sprayed in the face by Marisol. Says, Stylo. Corey looks at it. That's a pen! And the French term for it, Marisol says before putting the card down on one of the piles, is stylo. Corey scowls before lifting up her own cue card that has the word cash written in all block letters, and Marisol looks at it before slowly starting to finger spell it. When she reaches the end, Corey sprays her with their spray bottle and says, that was a G, not an H.
And there's a smile. Just not really saying anything, but just a smile on Echo's face.
They seem to be in a very competitive notion of doing this, and after watching them do this a few times, you realize the cue cards are separated into 3 piles. One seems to be words that are done correctly, one that is words that need to be pulled still, and then the last one is what you think is revisions or to be worked on, since every time one of them gets sprayed for getting a word wrong, it goes into the furthest pile.
And we'll just watch them for a moment.
It takes them a while, since they're very focused on this, and it isn't until Marisol glances to the side and sees you. Ah, good evening.
Good evening. Are we having fun?
Corey looks at you with a pout. No!
Why not?
Because I'm not taking French, and Marisol's making me learn it! Marisol, without a word, just stands up. French is the second most spoken language in this country. Learn it and you'll have an easier time getting to work.
It's not a bad thing to learn another language, my dear. Wish I had taken that opportunity.
Besides, you're teaching me ASL. It's only fair that I teach you something.
And
why couldn't you teach me one of the other languages you know, though? You know so many. Because French is the most important.
I can't actually argue with that, honestly.
You could try.
I could, but I'm not going to. Pout all you want.
Rolls their eyes before picking up their pile of revision cards, reading them over softly, speaking them in French, checking the back to see if they got it right, as Marisol has gone to the side to refill their spray bottle. Ah, you had some phone calls while you were asleep, Marisol says.
Oh?
I wasn't going to answer at first, but one of them was particularly insistent in calling.
Did they leave a message?
They did. However, I think they were concerned about it because she said, and I quote, "I don't know if I can trust these things. They were so easy to erase back in the day."
Sorry, what things? The cell phones?
The voicemails.
Ah.
It was one Isabella.
Oh, okay. I know who that is. What did she want?
She wanted me to let you know that she will be sending the agreed upon amount in installments of 9,000 over the next several weeks, so not to draw any attention from tax collectors.
Mm-hmm.
And when I told her she didn't need to call that many times, she repeated the "I don't trust these phones. They are weird." She actually pulls out a notebook and reads it over. Also, Be sure to make sure they don't spend it all at once. My god, prices are so expensive now.
You can rest assured that I won't. I will make sure that, like, whatever. You know what? I'll tell her myself. Don't worry about it. Thank you for taking the message. Was there anything else?
She paused for a moment. I had plugged in your phone to ensure that it wouldn't die since you were at 3% when the phone was ringing. Around noon, you had gotten a text message from someone who referred to you as Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
You would remember that is the term of endearment your mother used to call you.
Interesting. Okay, what else? I'll make note of that.
No one else called or anything from what I saw. Like I said, the only reason I touched the phone was to ensure whoever was calling it wasn't a state of emergency or something.
Mm-hmm. Very well. Anything else like that? Like, feel free to answer the phone. You don't have to, but, like, don't feel like you have to just sit there and listen to it, especially if it's, like, annoying. And yeah, I do appreciate it, though.
No worries. I instructed where Isabella can deposit the money to ensure, hopefully, it wouldn't be as flagged.
Mm-hmm.
And we should be getting... She told me that you would be getting the first amount within the next 24 hours.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. With that, we can finally start to hopefully get things moving. Well, looks like you two have your hands full at the moment, so I won't keep you any longer.
Very well.
As always, thank you.
You're welcome, Echo.
How's Candy?
Marisol looks over as if remembering that Candy exists. She is sitting there before looking back at you. We ensured that she slept during the day unless instructed not to.
Good. With that, I will grab my apartment keys, my phone and notepad. Grab, I think it's the last 20 from my stash.
Okay.
And I guess we'll set off.
All right. Do you check your phone?
Sure do. Always do.
All right. So, there are some news updates, nothing of real note, mostly some conspiracy theories, a mention of how from one of the fluff pieces on how some ASMR artist is starting to rise up in the ranks of podcasting. Jeremy has written a new posting about nightclubs in the area, especially with the fact that the Bite is still closed.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get further down, you do see a text message from Elaine Tremblay, your mother.
I'll scroll through the contacts list until I find her name, and then I will hit the dial button.
Actually picks up on the second ring. And Bumblebee?
Hi.
Hi, sorry, when I texted you earlier and you didn't respond, I figured you didn't want to speak to me.
Oh, no, I was asleep. My apologies.
No worries, my dear. How are you?
Can't really complain. Just out of curiosity, what's the relationship with my mother like?
So, your relationship with your mother is a bit strained. The last time you actually had a face-to-face conversation was about 5 years ago with her and your father, who you have pretty much gone no contact with because they keep referring to you as their daughter and his little girl, as well as dead naming you. Your mom is a peacemaker and tries to get it so everyone gets along. But also you do know she's a bit more complacent when it comes to arguments and prefers to keep the peace over actually fixing solutions.
Can't really complain. Working a lot. Other than that, not much. What's up?
I'm glad to hear you're working, Bumblebee. I guess you didn't read the text message. It's about your grandmother. She had an accident. She fell down the stairs of her home earlier and she broke her hip. She's currently in the hospital.
Okay.
I know you two are close, and she asked me not to call you because you were probably busy, but I figured I would let you know. It's important to keep family in the loop and all.
It's a shame not everyone takes that point of view. Which hospital?
She is currently at the... Where did I put her? The Royal Alexandria Hospital.
The Royal Alex.
I'm still here too.
Okay.
I'm still here as well. A relative is helping with some paperwork. Apparently, their ex-wife works as a nurse here, so they've been helping me with it.
I'll be by shortly.
She'll be happy to see you, Bumblebee.
It'll be good to see her again. Where's Dad?
She's actually quiet for a few moments before saying, he's not here, he's on a business trip.
Okay. I will see you shortly. And Echo will hang up the phone.
All right. How do you plan to get there?
We'll Uber.
All right. You Uber.
Hmm?
Arrive within roughly 10 minutes. It's easy enough to find out. It turns out your grandmother, whose name is Dorothy Craner, is currently in ICU. She is, from what the front nurse was able to tell you, is she is conscious and in good spirits, although she keeps asking for the most handsome doctors to treat her.
I will make my way to her room and softly knock on the door when I get there.
The thing about ICU units is it's less of a door and more of one of those glass sliding ones. This way the nurses can see in quite clearly from the nursing desk across from it. You do see that your mother is sitting in a chair beside her, and I am along with your grandmother, who has a cast around her leg up to her waist, but she is still grinning that ever wide smile that you have grown up to see. And I am posting their photos right now. Your mother has shoulder-length dark hair that she appears to have dyed recently to hide her grays, wearing a soft blue cardigan over a designer dress. She appears a bit thinner compared to the last time you saw her, and she looks over, stands up, honey, hi, and she goes to hug you before stopping and just, good to see you.
You as well. How are you?
I'm okay.
Be honest.
Nothing you need to worry about, my dear.
Be honest, please.
I'm hanging in there. We're here for your grandmother, not for me.
I will say hi in a moment. But first, what's going on?
I got a call from a neighbor this morning of your grandmother saying that they heard yelling. Apparently, while she was going to get a cup of water, she fell down the stairs of her house. And you remember those stairs. There's like 15 of them, and she fell down every single one on the way down.
That's horrible for her. I'm not asking about her right now.
You were always too perceptive, my dear. And I know for a fact you are not going to let this go, because that is one of the few traits you got from me. I have been under the weather lately. It is being handled.
And father?
Roll me a wits investigation check, please.
God, one moment. Wits is 4. Investigation is 3. And I have 2 hunger. That is 1 success. Wait, hold on. That's not a dice. It's this one. Yeah, 1 success.
All right. She wrings her hand slightly, looking at you. I wasn't lying. He is away on a business trip. This is my mother, not his. He didn't see a point in coming back.
Naturally.
How have you been?
Been through a lot. Lots happened. How long has it been, Mother?
A couple of years, I believe, since we last spoke. Not that I blame you.
Yeah. And not once did you bother to check up on me.
I did not. And I apologize for that. I have no excuse.
You know, neither did he. That is unfortunate. Tells me exactly where I seem to sit in regards to him.
You know how he is, my dear.
Yeah. I also know you're a peacekeeper and you would rather avoid confrontation than tackle it head on. Am I wrong?
You are not.
What would you have done if I'd turned up dead? Hmm?
Bumblebee, you're not dead. You're clearly standing in front of me.
Echo freezes for a moment at that. Like, freezes stone cold. Looks up at their mother. And for a brief moment, there's a flash of red in Echo's eyes. Just long enough to have it possibly play off as a trick of the light. If you're sure about that, sure. Is he still insistent? Or does he mention me at all these days?
Whenever someone asks, he always says he has a daughter.
That tracks. Oh, anyways.
She hesitates a moment before reaching out and gently taking your hands. Echo, you are and always will be my baby. And I have not been a good mother. I acknowledge that. And I am sorry. And I know there's not a lot I can do to make that up to you. And you do not have to accept the apology, but I am sorry for not being there for you.
Echo says nothing and moves into the room. Moves into the cordoned off area.
You walk in to see your grandmother happily chatting with a very handsome doctor, being like, I don't know what happened. 1 minute, I'm in bed. The next, I'm down the stairs. Apparently, I got up to get at your... Oh, it's my grandbaby! She sees you. It's like, come here. Come see Grandma. I haven't seen you in forever. Since like 3 Christmases ago. And you've been busy. Give me a hug.
Echo will move in and without hesitation give the grandmother a hug.
Roll me a wits awareness check.
Wits and awareness? 1 second. Mm-hmm. Wits is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Awareness is 1, 2, and 3. And with 2... Whoop.
You lost a die.
I did. It hit the floor. 1 second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and awareness is 3. So that should be 7 minus 2. There we go. 1 second. 3 successes.
just enough because Grandma is not that slick. You feel her as she hugs you do that stereotypical anime/drama grandparent thing of slipping money into your pocket as she hugs you.
Uh-huh. I'll look down at Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of look up and down for a moment. You gotta watch where you're going.
I was. At least I thought I was. Like I said, it's the weirdest thing. I must have started sleepwalking again, like when your grandfather passed away, God rest his soul.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I get to see my grandbaby. I get to see my daughter. Wish she was doing better. I get to see you, though. I've been reading up on the Googles. Is it still they, them?
It is. Thank you.
And it's still grandbaby?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I've been bragging to everyone about my grandbaby here. Apparently I talk too much, but whatever. I don't care about that. I'm just happy to see you. I'm happy to see my baby. And my grandnephew came by. His ex-wife works in this floor and has been helping with the paperwork and stuff. They're trying to send me to a home.
Why?
Apparently because of this accident. Your mom's worried. You know her. She's a worrywart.
And I'm assuming you don't want to.
Correction. Well, I don't want to. She actually leans in, being all conspiratorial. Technically, it's not your mom either. It's your old man. Never liked him. Your mom's putting up a fight for me, though.
So. Sounds like she might need some
much longer.
backup.
Probably. I wouldn't worry too much, though. He's not going to be around much longer.
What makes you say that? What's going on that I'm not being told?
She raises an eyebrow at you. You didn't see?
At that, Echo's head snaps instantly towards their mother.
She is currently speaking with a nurse, very softly in hushed tones. Probably so not to disrupt the other patients and doctors coming to and for. This is the nurse that your mother is speaking to. Your grandma, as if to help you, says, "Look at her hands."
And I will take a glance.
Your mom had always been very protective of her wedding band and wedding ring. She was one of those people that had it curated so that she could have the wedding band, the engagement ring, and the anniversary ring that she got from your father.
Mm-hmm.
All her fingers are bare.
Echo takes a sigh. Lets out a sigh. Has he touched her?
No.
Good. Because I would be having some very unsavory thoughts if that was the case.
Still being a piece of shit, though. She lets out a sigh.
What's he doing?
I'm only telling. He's doing nothing. That's the problem. Your mom's not doing well.
How so?
The only reason I'm telling you this is because I know she won't, because she doesn't want you to worry. Cancer.
Her or him?
Her. Stage 1. Treatable. She's been being treated for the last couple of months. She's doing better, but apparently it's too much for your father.
There's another just quick flash in Echo's eyes for a moment. What does Mum do for work?
Your mom actually... So, fun fact, your mom was the breadwinner of the family. She was the CEO of a few companies. She met your father through a work function, and they joined together to make their own brand of some sort. You never really paid too much attention to it. They kind of had their hands in a bunch of different pots, but your mother mainly did things like organize banquets and stuff. She always loved attending those sorts of things. She was always better at handling other people's drama than her own. Your father, on the other hand, is the CEO of a company that specializes in patenting items. Don't tell her I told you. She doesn't want you to know.
You did the right thing. That being said, she's not the problem. And I'm thinking what she needs is a clean break, and she doesn't seem to be able to get that at the moment from the way it looks. As far as she's concerned, Dad's still off on a business trip. I'm assuming that's not the case either.
Oh no, he is. Been on a lot of business trips lately. With his young secretary.
Yeah, there it is. There it fucking is. Echo says, like, right out loud. Voice raising a fair bit.
Your grandmother doesn't stop you. You see your mom glance at you, the nurse seeming a little concerned.
I'm staring.
Your mom is like...
right back at her. Like, right back at her.
Your mother speaks softly to the nurse, like, I'll be right back, before coming over, closing the sliding door, like, what is going on in here?
You're doing okay, are you?
Mother!
Don't start. You take this up with me, not with her. I'm not the kid that you knew, Mother. Flying off with his secretary, huh? Cheating bastard. Your wedding ring has been taken off, which means you've fallen out of love. What else aren't you telling me?
She lets out a long sigh, running her fingers through her hair, sitting down. Well, it's important I tell you this anyway, because you'll want to get tested. Stage 1 breast cancer. I've been going through the chemotherapy the last few months. It is being treated. It is manageable. Your father and I have been separated for over a year.
Good.
And the divorce proceedings will begin. Well, actually, he should be getting the papers right now in Hawaii with his little secretary. She says, looking down at her nails.
Has he ever laid a hand on you? And believe me when I tell you that lying to me right now is not a good plan.
She actually looks at you. Echo.
I asked a
am
question. It's a yes or no question.
No. Your father never laid a hand on me.
Has he ever mistreated you?
No.
You still don't seem to be able to make that clean break that you need.
So you say. However, there is a certain clause in our prenuptial agreement that he seems to have forgotten about infidelity.
Yeah, what's it say?
Well, in layman's terms, since I know law was never your favorite subject, basically, if it's been proven that he's been in a relationship with someone, whether that be emotional, physical, or otherwise, then we basically both leave with what we had before the marriage.
And about the things in the marriage that you gained while in the marriage?
To be divided based on how much was contributed to each. And considering the fact mostly everything was from my trust fund, I'll be getting back everything and he'll be left with maybe 20,000, give or take. I might be a pushover when it comes to conflict, my dear, but I am far from stupid.
And that is exactly what I need. Echo laughs. It's a dry laugh. It's very cold and calculating. So if he didn't work out, how would you like to build?
Echo, my dear, I'll be honest, I am currently doing all I can to stay afloat physically.
That'll be taken care of.
I'll be honest.
That'll be taken care of.
You don't need to worry about that. You have your own life to live. I am handling it.
Yeah.
I want you to enjoy life and not worry about your mother.
See, here's the thing. Unlike him, I don't necessarily turn my back on family. There's a line that has to be crossed. He crossed it. You did not. And over the last few days, I have made some rather fortuitous connections. I can pull some strings, potentially. But more so than that...
With who? Who exactly have you been making connections with? Do I know them?
Wouldn't know. She owns a cute little place downtown.
Okay. Do you have a name?
How much time you got?
She glances at a clock. Well, visiting hours are going to be over in about an hour, and I still need to go over the paperwork. Not to mention, I'm going to have a meeting with my lawyers and stuff this evening. So tonight might not be the best, but I can make time for you tomorrow. Maybe we can meet up for coffee?
And tell you what, have them send the paperwork to my place.
Your place?
We're gonna go have a talk. I have some other stuff I have to do tonight, but I can make time for this.
The law office doesn't open until tomorrow morning at 8, my dear.
Have them send the
And
paperwork.
Echo, I say this. I will have them send you a copy if you are that insistent on it.
I do recommend having a chat with me tonight.
I can spare. She glances down at her watch. Designer. You've seen her wear it several times at functions. An hour?
Where's your car?
It's in the parking lot. I parked very close to Margot, the nurse. She says, gesturing to the nurse who is filling out some paperwork and stuff.
Echo will reach into the pocket on the inside of the jacket, pull out a business card and a pen, scribble something on it. Hand it to the nurse.
She blinks, taking it.
Oh, do I? I'm gonna pop aw.
Okay.
It's my card with my number and my address. If anything happens, you give me a call. You have a way to get in touch with me. You have a way to send people to me if you need. Let me know what's going on. We're going to take a moment here and we're going to go have a coffee. Keep me abreast of everything, will ya?
Margot takes, you see on her badge, it says Margot C on her name badge. She looks, does it have Echo Wren on it? Or does it just have Echo?
Has Echo Wren on it.
She looks at you, pausing to glance at it. Sees the name. By any chance, do you run a little channel called Echo Vision?
That's me. What can I do for you?
Nothing. This is kind of funny. I will tell you about it later, though. You go have coffee with your mom.
What do you need, my dear? What?
I don't need anything. Trust me. Trust me. It's gonna be funnier if you wait, she says, clearly holding back laughter as she goes to a break room.
I'll look at my grandmother. If you'll excuse me, we have some things to talk about. And I will come back and see you tomorrow night.
To ask any of my questions to my grandbaby. No, all of a sudden they're off trying to overthrow governments.
What?
speak to you since you got in. Have you met anybody?
Things didn't exactly go that way over the last couple of years. Things went better.
Okay. Go have a talk with your mom. Visiting hours are almost done.
I will be back tomorrow night, and I will bring you some of those cookies that you like from the grocery store.
Excellent.
All right.
The cookies here are trash.
We'll sit here and we'll sit and we'll talk to your heart's content.
Good grandbaby.
If the nurses give you any problems, let me know.
I don't think they dare.
If they do, though, just let me know. With that, Echo is going to walk out and follow their mother to the car.
You follow your mother to the car. Since it's late in the evening, there aren't many cars out. You actually see that she is parked beside what appears to be a well-loved Honda that looks to be maybe on its last rope. See a couple of car seats in the back. As your mother walks up to her nicer car, looks like it was last year's model, a Subaru.
We sure she's not like a closeted lesbian?
Your mother or the nurse?
I don't know, whoever owns the Subaru.
Darling, the Subaru is mine.
We sure you're not closeted, Mother? You don't seem to have a lot of luck with men.
She looks at you. She looks at you with a raised brow. Darling, I'm bisexual.
That explains it. And Echo will open the door and hop on in.
I'm attracted to women, she says as she enters the car. I tolerate men.
Valid. Echo will give directions to the place that they're going. Actually going to give directions to the Velvet Pussycat.
Oh, so that's where we're going, huh?
For the moment.
Okay, then.
For the moment.
Your mother inputs the address into... Actually, do you just tell her where to go, or do you actually give her, like, an address?
The name of the establishment that's shown on the outside is a place called The Cabin. It's a tavern. Tavern-style bar. I'll give her the address for there.
She blinks, looking at it with a raised eyebrow, but does as you request, driving to the cabin. All right.
Get out of the
She does so.
Get out of the car, walk around to the front door, mutter the passphrase, and open the door, and in we go.
She follows you inside. And is amazed at the interior of the Velvet Pussycat, clearly not expecting such extravagant things. A feeling of decadence and debauchery fills the air as she looks around.
Thoughts?
I am processing. And this is reminding me of a place your grandfather used to take me.
Don't put too much thought into it. Echo will walk over to the stand. I'm assuming Isolde's at the stand.
Isolde.
Of course she is.
She looks up. Oh, if it isn't, well, you're certainly becoming a regular, aren't you?
Oh, you could say that. What can I say? It's like a home away from home here, my dear. Tell me, Seraphina in tonight?
Yeah, although she is getting ready to go to an event.
It won't be but a minute. We're gonna go grab a seat. Can you send her a message and ask her to meet me at one of my tables? Well, at one of the tables.
Can I ask what it's about?
I would like to introduce my mother to her.
She leans over to look at your mother, looking back at you. Well, you're bringing all kinds around here.
She doesn't know.
I figured as much. All right. Do you want me to take you to your usual table near Rafe's bar?
That would be great.
Excellent. Follow me.
Mother?
And she leads you. Your mother is handling this with practiced poise, with an air of nonchalance, as if none of this is shocking her. She is either a very good actress, or this is not the first time she's dealt with a situation like this.
Given what given what I know she's done, that's not surprising.
Mm-hmm. You are escorted over to your table. Rafe is once again still there, manning the bar as if it is his domain. You see Reggie, actually not at the bar for once, at another table, speaking with Ro, who is speaking very amiably. You catch the phrase El Chupacabra, Hector, and oh my god, so many cacti as you walk by.
Echo will pull out their phone and fire off a quick message actually to Ro. Mm-hmm. As they're walking by the table. Still going on about that, huh? Can you spare a few?
At their phone, and just messages you something. I can spare a few as soon as I am done telling Reggie all about it. He always wants to hear about my exploits, and like a bajillion happy face emojis. Shocked face emoji, followed by a shocked Pikachu emoji. I will be there in 5.
As we're led over, I will take my mother up to the bar. What would you like to drink? It's on me tonight. What would you like to drink? Anything you want.
Surprise me.
Look at Rafe. Wait till he's got a moment, and I'll order 2 of those midnight sangrias.
He grins at you as he begins to prepare it. You're bringing me all kinds of business, and I am not mad at it.
Good. Maybe we can work out a partnership or something. Who knows?
Maybe.
If you'll excuse me, though, I have some business tonight.
Okay.
And Echo will head on over to the table, the booth.
As you head to the booth and actually sit down, you see Seraphina walking out from the back. She is dressed to the nines. She is wearing a beautiful, flowing chiffon gown that hugs her curves in all of the right places. Beautiful ruby jewelry, her hair done in that effortless bun as she walks up to you, face completely well made. Echo, my dear, I was not expecting you tonight, she says as she kisses both of your cheeks.
I wasn't expecting to be here either, and Echo will return the gesture.
And you are, is it Mrs. Wren? Oh, your mother smiles, shakes her head. No. Tremblay. It's lovely to meet you. Miss Serafina, she says as she clasps her hand around your mother's, giving it a shake. It is lovely to meet the mother of this wonderful individual.
Mother, this is Serafina. She owns the establishment. And I seem to have caught her ear to some degree. Fairly influential. More so than you.
She looks at you with a raised brow.
She has a way of getting things done. And I'm sure she has some connections that might interest you, and you may wish to have a conversation with her. Perhaps some sort of partnership. I don't know. I'll leave that to you two to discuss. But my networking over the last few nights has been absolutely gorgeous. Masterful. Piece of work.
I'm always willing to meet new individuals, your mother says as Serafina is grinning ear to ear, and I'm always willing to meet new friends. Unfortunately, as much as I would adore to have the chance to speak with you this evening, I actually have a prior engagement with another business partners of mine. They're actually having a grand opening for something, and I promised them I would attend.
Not tonight, of course, but just before you go.
No.
Just before you go. What do you think the proper course of action is for tonight?
That depends on how much they get to know. Bringing family in is always tricky.
Yeah, and there's a reason we're having a talk here.
Have Ro on standby should things turn south.
Okay. Have a good night. All the best with your engagement tonight.
Excellent. You too. If you want, you can introduce her to Marcus since you've been hanging out with one another quite often, she says as she starts to walk away. Your mother looks at you with a raised brow. Marcus?
I'm still aiming for a partnership possibly with you at some point.
I hear.
Yes, Mother Marcus. The type of man who could potentially break me in half and have me not complaining.
It's your type growing up. You had several posters of men like that in your room.
So I'm just gonna out with it.
Mm-hmm.
You got the shit end of the stick. You did not deserve any of that. And I know you were trying to keep the peace. And yes, he might be my father. But I have acquired a certain set of skills that tell me I have risen above what he thinks I am and who he thought I could be. There is no love lost. And if he wants to treat you like this, then I deeply wish every misfortune that comes his way, whether accidental or manufactured.
Echo, I appreciate your concern. I do. However, I say this with all the love in my heart. Please don't plot your father's murder. I will be the first one they suspect.
I have no intention on doing so. At least not that can be traced back to me. You love what you do. You like building brands. What is it? What's your favorite thing that you've done doing that?
I like holding charity events. I enjoy helping as much as I can. You know the family history. Grandfather built Tremblay Enterprises up from nothing through hard work, and we like to do the same.
I have recently gotten an investor. It's not a lot of money, but it's some money. And I am aiming to build something. Not only I wouldn't call it a newspaper, but more
Oh, are you referring to Echo Vision?
that's the one.
Yes, I've been following you since you first established the channel.
I'm attempting to build that up, but more recently, it has come to my attention that I can do so much good here. I have gathered together an unseemly crew. Lost people that you'd expect. Even gave somebody stable housing so they could get their schooling done. I want to take the money that I've been given, and I want to grow it.
All right.
I want to get my name out there. I want to make connections. I want to get to know people. I want to build. I want to seep into every little crack and crevice that I can. And I want my fingers in every pie I can get a handle on. And everybody who has come against me or tried to speak ill of me will feel that. It'll also make it a lot easier to crush the people that I need to crush. You know how to do that. You are extremely adept at networking. You know how to throw charity events. You know how to raise money. You know how to raise capital. It's what you're good at. No?
I did go to school for it.
I want you working for me. And we will rule this city.
You have gotten yourself mixed into a very dark world, haven't you?
What do you know of said world? Actually, hold on. Before we go there, what do you know about the world that I've gotten into?
Not a lot.
Tell me.
Whispers here and there about things that are never quite what meets the eye.
Such as?
Many people don't. The Fountain of Eternal Youth. people that need to partake in a certain lifestyle in order to appear forever young. Abilities to make you listen and do what you want. Billionaires, trillionaires, millionaires hardly gain their money through hard work anymore, my dear.
Cut the bullshit and the decorative words. Speak plainly.
That is me being honest. I don't know a lot about it. This is me speaking plainly. These is just bits and pieces that I've heard, and she lets out a long sigh, pinching the bridge of her nose. When your grandfather passed away, when you were 10, every year, on your birthday, on your and mine's birthday, without fail, we would always get bouquets of blue roses. Those were the flowers that he would always give us. I didn't think anything of it until one time, on your 18th birthday, the blue roses came with a card that had a check in it that said, "To my little birdie, here is coverage for your college." My father was the only one that ever called you that.
What was my grandfather's name, just out of curiosity?
Jonathan Craner.
Does that ring any bells?
Aside from the fact that that was your grandfather's name, you were also very close with him. Not as close to you as you are to your grandmother, but that might be due to the fact that he did pass away when you were 10 years old.
So, you know a little bit.
I know a little bit. I know enough to stay away.
And why is that?
Because there were certain things at that time that I knew if I got myself mixed into, it would affect you. Although it looks like it's affected you regardless of what I've done.
More than you know. Echo's gonna look up for Wraith or the server.
The server, Amelia, looks at you as she brings over the sangrias.
I'm a little peckish, my dear.
Oh?
Did you bring me something to eat?
Of course, right away.
Thank you.
Do you have a preference?
Not really, but thank you.
Alright. She walks over a few moments later with a blood bag. Your mother still has the same neutral expression she's had since she's walked in here.
Why don't you have a drink?
She takes a sip of her sangria.
Whatever you think you avoided because it would affect me, well, that only delayed the inevitable. Suffice to say, you and I are no longer the same. And I can do some good around here. I can build something. I can get everything that I wasn't able to get. I just gotta reach for it. and I want to know if you want to build with me.
Darling, if it means it gives me a chance to make sure that you survive in this, she says, gesturing to the Velvet Pussycat, but also seems to be the night in general. I would walk through hell and back for you, baby. You know this. Even if it doesn't seem like I've always been the best at showing it.
Then I'm going to show you something. And I need you to stay seated exactly where you are with not a word. But before I do that, we're going to have to wait for somebody to show up.
Is it me?
Hi, Ro.
You look over. You look over and see Ro has somehow very quietly put a seat at you guys' table and is just grinning.
Hi, Ro.
Hi.
Good night.
Very good night.
Uh,
So good.
Good. Glad to hear that. This is my mother, Elaine. Elaine, this is Ro. Apparently, this is my new.
It's so nice to.
Apparently, this is my new bestie.
It's always lovely to meet a friend of Echo's, she says, as Rose just very enthusiastically shaking her hand. It's so nice to meet Echo's mom. Oh my god. You guys kind of look alike, but not really. But I mean, I guess Echo got a lot of their good looks from you at least, which is thank God, because I know sometimes people look like the bad versions of both of their parents. Like, it's terrible. She says as Ro is still shaking her hand.
Ro, honey, I know you're excited, but I got a question for you.
Yes.
Are you capable tonight of possibly rewinding things if they go wrong a little bit?
Like for everybody or just one person?
Just one.
I can do that.
Do you need any prep time?
Really doing really good. Really good.
Good. All right, Mother. Gloves come off, but I need to warn you that from here on out, your life is going to change. What you think you know, it's all going to change. Everything you know about the world around you is a fucking lie. First and foremost. Second, what's discussed here stays here. Literally, you cannot talk about it at all outside of this building. Like, literally, you cannot. So even if shit goes downhill, you won't be able to tell anyone. That's why I chose here. Fuck it. Browse check.
How'd you do?
Pass. That's a 9. As
Excellent.
so Echo waits for a moment where their mother looks away and disappears.
She starts to scoot back a bit, but Ro, without missing a beat, just still has a very firm hold on her hands.
And then a moment later pops back. There's a reason I got you the drink. I can do things. I have certain skills that I can utilize in order to sway minds, in order to twist things, and quite honestly, get my way. Normally telling somebody this I would make them an offer of not required compliance, but I would make them an offer of come with me, but I need an insurance policy. That's not how we're going to do this with you. I'm going to show you what I've gotten into. And then you are going to tell me whether you still feel like you would walk through hell and back for me. But from here on out, whatever remnants of a relationship we have is going to change. Even if you don't remember it.
Okay.
Echo will go full mask off. Red eyes, fangs, all of it. I'm not human. Not anymore. I provided things stay as they are, will never die. The trade-off is the bag of blood. And as if to drive home the point, Echo will pick it up and drain it. That life that you said you tried to avoid saved me. If it hadn't have popped up when it did, you would have been attending my funeral. I was at the end of my rope. I had nothing left. And then I was offered this. Well, not so much offered as a door opened, and I decided to walk through it. Because the alternative for me was unthinkable. Say something if you want.
You're still my bumblebee. You're still my child.
Yeah? I can just as easily kill somebody these days as not. Sure, it bothers me a little bit, but it's what I gotta do to survive. It's how I exist. And I've gathered a crew of people around me to help me accomplish my goals, and I continue to try and accomplish those goals with them. Always on the lookout for somebody that can help me further what I want to do, while hoping to lift them up a little bit. But I can't exist in the daylight anymore either. That's how I die. Father has made an extremely unwise choice. And once I have things built up, he has sealed his own fate. You, I'm offering a hand to, at a fairly low point. What I'm doing isn't glamorous yet, but with your help, I think we can change that. I want to create charities. I want to create fundraisers. I want to create funds that people can dig into in order to achieve their life goals if they so want. And I want to do what I love to do, which is right. I want to create. I want to make art. But we got to start somewhere. I want to know if you want to come work for me. And mark my words, this will be of your own free will, no strings attached. And you had better believe, despite the fragments of our relationship, if anybody lays a finger on you, they are going to find one very pissed off vampire coming after them who doesn't know when to stop and will burn everything to the ground until they are cowering in their own puddle of piss or worse.
She's looking at you with a very gentle, maternal smile. Reaches over and gently cups the side of your face. Of course, I'll help.
Good. Have a drink.
She takes another sip of her drink. There will be certain days I won't be able to attend. Chemotherapy has been taking quite a bit out of me.
I wonder. Echo will pull out their phone for a moment, fire off a quick text to Isabella. You awake?
Isabella will respond, actually, well, for a teenager, she types very slowly. And she types back, yep. About to go do a thing and is trying to stop people from fighting. What you want?
Try to stop people from fighting.
Two besties at each other's throats because of miscommunication.
Ah. How would you like me to owe you a favor?
Isabella slowly types back, I mean, if you want, I guess. What you need?
I got somebody who needs some medical attention. At-home treatment, potentially. I'm wondering if we can make that work.
She types something out and it says, I know a doctor. Would have to ask her if she's free. But possibly could help. Who's sick?
Mom.
Text message. The typing bubble comes up again. And it says, give me an hour. I'll track her down and ask.
Thank you. And Echo will turn back to their mother. Put the phone back in the pocket. We might be able to arrange something for you to do at home, instead of having to go all the way into the hospital every time.
Well, as much as that would be nice, I don't want to put you out.
You are not putting me out. I want to make sure you're as comfortable as possible. Or I could stop it in its tracks. You wouldn't have to deal with treatment anymore, but again, the choice is yours.
Darling, I don't know much about this world, but I have a feeling they can't stop cancer.
They can stop the aging process.
Ro is pausing to think about this for a long moment, looking at her. If you don't mind my asking, what kind of cancer is it?
Stage 1 breast
She
cancer.
blinks. Is there a lump?
Yes. They're trying to shrink it down currently with chemotherapy. I mean,
If you know someone that's good with body modifications, they could try taking it out, but that would probably cost you quite a bit of a favor.
Echo smiles at that. Funny you should mention that, because I met somebody actually just last night that can possibly do that.
Oh?
Yeah.
Who?
Goes by the name Bastion, I think. Owns a tattoo parlor. Bleeding Colors?
Ro actually sits up. Hey, Rafe, isn't that your friend? Rafe looks over with a raised brow, walking over.
what are you talking about now?
You know a place called the Bleeding Colors?
Oh god, what did he do now?
He didn't do anything. I just happened to meet him, I think it was last night.
He's looking at you.
I'm working on a case.
down.
I'm working on a case. We just happened to cross paths, and I'm in the process of getting to know people around the city. So,
Looking at you. And you left without a new hole?
no. Well, yes, but not without new ink.
Ah, okay. Figures.
And Echo will actually roll up their sleeve and show off the flowers.
He looks down at it. Ah! Rowan's been practicing, I see.
Rowan is quite artistic, all things considered.
That he is. But yeah, I know him. Good guy. Why?
Like I said, just came up in conversation.
Ro, what did you do?
I have done nothing ever in the history of ever. I am perfectly well behaved. Thank you very much.
I don't want to go too much into it. It's a personal matter. But Rose says you know the guys. It says you know them, so
I do.
cool. Echo will turn back to their mother. We have options that you don't. We can solve your problem for you.
Your mother looks towards Ro, and this would work. Well, don't get me wrong. We'd still have to get the lump removed, and then you'd still need to go through a few bouts of chemotherapy to ensure we got rid of all the cancerous cells in the body so that another lump wouldn't form later. But in theory, it could be done. It's not done often, though, because typically we don't mess around with mortals that much, because then it starts making people ask questions.
Or we can make it go away.
Let's take this one step at a time.
You're going to be no use to me. if you're dead.
You're dead and you're plenty useful, my dear.
I'm a different kind of dead, Mother. And that was my own personal choice. That's the difference.
Can I sleep on it while you figure out what all your options are? I am still going to work with you first and foremost. That is not going to change. My thing of sleeping on it is what we're doing about my cancer.
You have free will.
Good.
I will send you a text message later with times and dates that we can meet up so we can form a, well, I guess it wouldn't be a partnership since I'll be working for you. I guess employment status then. But we can work out the finer details at a later date. I believe you had mentioned that you had other plans this.
Echo is silent for a very long moment. I don't like that.
Don't like what?
I don't like the sound of you working for me. I like the sound of you working with me.
You want to do a partnership?
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, we can work something out with that then. I can have my lawyer draw up some papers.
Good.
What are your plans for the evening?
I need to go check out either a nightclub or a board game cafe. I'm on a case at the moment, looking into somebody.
Oh?
The death of one Macy Velour.
Macy Velour. Macy. Oh!
The one who died of a drug overdose.
Yes, I think. Yes, I heard her name in passing. Very sad to hear what happened.
You want to come with?
I mean, it's been a while since I've been to a board game cafe. Actually, I don't think I've ever been to one.
I also need you to know I have not been a good person. Certain things about me have changed. I'm not the person you knew. And I have methods of getting things done these days that are not exactly wholesome. You are going to see me manipulate. You are going to see me use. And you are going to see me push people.
Okay.
So long as you are okay with that, I suggest we go for a ride.
Very well. She points to her glass. How much alcohol is in this? Oh, that one doesn't have any. She blinks. What?
Ro gently taps the white umbrella.
If it's white, it's all right.
Did you want a shot?
Darling, you know I don't drink and drive.
I can. Do you want a shot?
Good for you. I am fine. If you want a shot, you can get one.
Oh no, because if I consume it and then step out the door, it's going to come right back up, so... That's one of the other trade-offs is I can't actually eat food anymore, but...
Don't tell Grandma that. It will break her heart to know you can't eat her lasagna.
I know. You're going to see little things here and there. And I do miss her lasagna.
Her pies.
Yeah, that too.
All right, come on, let's get going. Are you coming with? She says, looking at Ro. Oh my God, take me with you. Please take me with you. I have been so bored.
Come on, let's go on a trip.
Right. Rafe calls out, no, she's still grounded.
Who grounded her?
Serafina.
Why?
She didn't check in.
Tell Serafina she'll check in and tell her I needed her for an assignment. And if she wants to yell at her, she can come yell at me instead. What's she gonna do? Ground me?
No, but she might sick Marcus on ya. But I think we'd all know you'd enjoy that too much. He calls as you guys keep walking away.
Is Ro following?
Ro is skipping as she is following you guys.
I mean, wouldn't be the first time I've kind of thought about him being suck on me, him being like sicked on me, but I mean, here we are.
Your mother looks at you with a raised brow before looking at Ro. Is Marcus working tonight by chance?
Sadly, no, for once.
I thought he lived here.
Yes. He does. He said he had a prior engagement he had to go to.
Cool. All right, so let's roll.
We'll get in the car. Luckily, the board game cafe is a very short jaunt away from the Velvet Pussycat surprise. The moment you walk through the threshold of Scrabble Latte, a feeling of lighthearted serenity washes over you. The smell of freshly brewed coffee and soft pop music playing through the speakers. The front area is filled with tables, some of which have checkerboards painted onto the wood. On one side of the room, you see well-worn, most likely donated couches, with coffee tables in the middle, with college students playing a very competitive game of Uno. You see there is a hallway towards the back that even from the front door you can see shelves stacked with board games of all kinds. Against the back wall beside that hallway, you see a counter where people can go up and order drinks, a chalkboard hung behind it, with beverages that seem to be named after pop culture icons and meme references. A woman wearing a black apron is wiping the countertops, noticeably being careful not to disturb a small shrine that has been put there with a picture of Macy. People have put flowers and small written notes beside it. The tip jar beside it, written on it, says donation to the EHS in honor of Macy, written in black Sharpie.
Echo will walk in through the front door, kind of look around for a moment, just take stock of the place, and walk over to the counter.
A young teen is seen there, her dirty blonde hair pulled into a high ponytail. She has piercing green eyes and a bright smile. On her black apron is the name Ashley as she smiles at you. I post her photo in the side chat. Hi, welcome to Scrabble Latte. What can I get you?
Vanilla bean latte if you got one.
Coming right up. Are you also going to need a game ticket?
Sure.
All right, so that's $6. for the game ticket and a 4 for the vanilla bean latte. With the ticket, you can play any game here for the rest of the night.
I'll take a look back at Mother and Ro. See if they want anything.
Your mother looks up at the board behind the girl, looking over. Can I get the Jedi mind trick? She says. And the mother nods. It is a decaf latte. As Ro just, I'm good. I already had something to drink.
Understood. And that brings the total to?
Ashley nods. That brings your total to a whole whopping $15.
So I'll reach into the pocket that Grandma slipped the cash into, and I'll kind of pull it out to see how much she left. Just take a quick glance at it.
Your grandma is very sneaky. Your grandma somehow put in 2 $50 bills.
I will take one of the 50s and pass it across the counter.
The girl takes it, smiling widely. Perfect! Do you want to donate to the Edmonton Humane Society? She says, gesturing to the tip jar that's beside Macy's photo.
In memory of Macy?
Yeah, she has a small smile on her face. She was one of our regulars here. She was dating one of our coworkers, actually.
I'll tell you what. You can put you can put the change in, all of the change. If I can get a bit of information from you while you're making the coffee and whatnot.
What kind of information?
I just want to know about Macy.
Are these going to be super invasive questions?
One moment. Bear, thank you for the sub.
Yay!
Give me 1 second.
So,
Is it that audio?
we are. Now you know
Yeah.
what you are.
It's David.
Old Michael. And you'll never die. But you must feed.
Hello.
Alright. Ashley's looking at you. Are these going to be super invasive, inappropriate questions? Because we've already had someone come by and we are not pleased with what was written.
Jeremy?
Yeah,
Jeremy Cortez? Yeah, fuck that guy.
agreed.
He wants his 15 minutes of fame. He wants to be on top of everything. And he doesn't actually want to put in the work to fucking do it. He wants clickbait. I require no such thing. As a matter of fact, do you know Bastion? Owns a tattoo parlor?
She looks at you, nodding her head slightly as she gently pulls down the collar of her shirt, and you see a small row of forget-me-nots have been tattooed to her collarbone.
Echo's gonna pull up their sleeve and show off the flowers.
She looks at it. Oh, that's Rowan's work.
I let Rowan draw on me while we were talking. Actually, it was Bastion and Rowan that pointed me in this direction.
They wouldn't have done that if you weren't cool. Okay, listen, she says as she finishes the 2 cups and like puts them down on the thing. If you promise not to be a dick, and I don't have to use all of the cool moves my pops has taught me on you for making her cry, I can give you something that's better than my word.
What's that?
Macy's girlfriend.
I'll take it.
Okay. You make her cry. She like points at you with a very stern look. I know people.
Okay, first things first. If she cries while talking to me, it is not because I made her cry, and that was not my intention, first and foremost. You have my word. I just want to get to the bottom of this. I want the fucking truth. That's it. Because I'm sorry, but that piece was... It was sloppy fucking work.
I think he's going through a midlife crisis. Usually his work isn't terrible, she says as she puts the cups down, tosses the change into the jar.
And
Give me 5 minutes. She's just getting ready. She's just got off shift. I think she's still in the break room.
thank you. Are you opposed to us sitting in the break room? Out of the public's view? You can keep our...
If you want, you can use one of the private rooms in the back.
I was gonna say,
we use them for D&D sessions.
you can keep your eye on us all you want. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. You can use one of the private rooms we got. We have an opening because there was a cancellation for a D&D group meetup because apparently there was too many people who had to cancel last minute.
I'll take it. Thank you.
All right. And there's a camera in there too, so I can keep an eye.
You can sit in on it if you want, if you got somebody else to watch the counter. I don't care. She is your friend. She is also a co-worker. And having somebody else there for moral support might not be a bad idea. Just saying.
You know what? Sure. Just go back there. I'll be there in a second.
Echo will head back and motion for the other 2 to follow.
They follow without much of a worry. It takes a few moments, but eventually... The back room is one that has... It doesn't have a door so much as has an entryway of an arch that leads to a room with a large table that's big enough to fit at least 10 people in it. It is an old wooden table with worn out chairs, none of them matching one another. As you guys sit down, Ro leans over and experimentally sniffs at your drinks. Never understood the appeal of coffee.
It's a time-honored tradition. And for a lot of people, it's an addiction. It's also a social thing. There's like a whole bunch of different reasons we do it.
Okay, still weird.
It is what it is.
Your mother, Elaine just smiles, taking a sip of her drink. A few moments later, Ashley, who you know is her name because of the name tag, returns with a woman that appears to be maybe a few years older than her. The first thing you notice about her is that she is Muslim,
from the fact that she is wearing a soft pink pastel hijab over her head that covers all of her hair. Soft brown eyes, very, very minimal makeup. She's wearing modest clothes. Around her neck is a necklace with a small M on it. As I send that to the stage.
Mhm.
Ashley sits down, arms crossed, looking like she's clearly ready to start any sort of altercation that may be. As the girl smiles at her, just says, Ashley, you don't need to do this. You're going to be off work soon. And Ashley just puts her hand up like, shush, Amalia. I am here for moral support. I've already messaged the Pops, and he knows to wait for me.
Besides, it was my suggestion. I figured you might want a friend here, somebody, a friendly face, just to kind of keep an eye on things. A little bit of moral, not just moral support, but somebody familiar.
She gives you a soft smile as she sits down, very poised. You wanted to ask me about Macy?
First of all, my condolences. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I know people have been around here asking questions, specifically one douchebag.
Yes.
I'm so sorry about that.
He was, although very crass about it, doing his job.
Not,
Macy did have a bit of a troubled background.
not well. I want to know about Macy, though. I want to know about her. I want to know about anything that might have been off in her last few days. I want the... I'm just here for the truth, okay? Straight up. And I will again... and Echo will again slide a business card across the table.
Amalia picks it up, puts it into a small pocket in her baggy pants. I met Macy a few years ago. She actually came here when I first started working. A rather rude individual had pulled my hijab off my head. She had taken her jacket off, thrown it over me as she ran and grabbed it back. We became friends. She later asked me out, and although my parents are okay with the fact that I am bisexual, they were a bit hesitant due to her troubled upbringing, as well as the fact that she wasn't modest.
Echo will just kind of look over at Elaine. Not say word, just like glance over at Elaine for a second, and then back to Amalia. Yeah, parents can be funny like that.
It's why we didn't really tell many people that we were officially dating.
I mean, that's fair. Gotta protect your own. Gotta protect yourself, right? And gotta protect your own.
Mm-hmm. She was acting completely normal up until that night. Then nothing had changed. She came here. It was my night off. We decided to come in, play a few games with some people that were coming through. She actually, she beat someone that came in Scrabble. She used a ridiculously long word on a triple word score and trounced them completely.
Do you remember what the word was?
The word was oxyphenbutazone.
Fair.
The other woman was not pleased, but she said good game and left shortly after. But we were just having fun, and we played a few more games, Uno, Scrabble. She loved this place. She really did.
I'm gonna ask you a hard question, and I don't mean any offense by it. I'm just looking for information, okay? Was she known to use any sort of drugs?
She surprisingly doesn't have an outburst. She's remained surprisingly calm throughout this whole thing. Nothing with needles. She used to marijuana quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes with alcohol, especially when she was younger. But when she started dating, she cut back quite a bit.
No hard drugs?
To the point where she, not if she did, she kept it well hidden from me.
That's alarming. The woman that was at the Scrabble
She also
Go ahead.
She also said that she was probably going to do a bit of experimenting this upcoming a week, but she had assured me she was going to be careful and not do anything too horrendous.
The woman who was at the table with her, what did she seem like?
Average. I believe it was her first time coming in.
Mm-hmm.
She was, I'll be honest, if I wasn't dating Macy, I would say she was absolutely stunning. Something you see as a model. She was with a few individuals. They were chatting and stuff, and they saw Macy bring out Scrabble for us to play, and the girl asked to join.
What were they like?
Following her. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe she was some sort of internet celebrity, or maybe some
Entourage.
sort of, yes, that.
You didn't happen to catch a name, did you?
She is quiet for several moments, pondering. Can you roll me a wits awareness roll?
Yes. Do I want to? No.
You will anyway.
Yeah, 1 second. So that's 2. That one and that one. That's 4.
You can't explain it, but despite the very depressing and dour the conversation you are having, you feel calm. This whole place seems to have this sort of calming energy as Macy thinks it, or not Macy, as Amalia thinks it over and says, I think I might have heard something like Linda or Lindsay, possibly Lenore. It started with an L for sure. Macy was always a social butterfly, though. She met several different people all the time. She was much more outgoing than I.
When the woman left, did she seem like she was upset? Like, angry?
I mean, a bit. I wouldn't say angry, more frustrated. She was very close to winning before Macy had put down that word, and it's the word itself. 1 second, let's quickly check. The word by itself is worth 1,784 points, but on top of the fact that it was on a triple word tile, she trounced her with one word. So anyone would be a bit miffed if that happened. Apparently Miss L was very good at the game. Kind of reminded me of someone who was very competitive that lost their first game in a while.
Did anyone, or was there anything that seemed off? Anything that stands out? Anything at all?
Besides for the fact she was beautiful? Not really. She did keep ordering... What was it that she ordered? She did keep ordering the Espresso Phoenix down, though. I think she possibly had like 4 of those in one night. And she completely bought all of our cookies. She had a very big sweet tooth. She was eating them as she was playing.
I'm gonna lean heavily into awe at this point.
Okay.
Anything, any little detail. Like I said, I'm just here for the truth. I want to get to the bottom of this. And it would be an absolute shame if something was missed because it seemed insignificant. Macy deserves the best. Okay? Macy deserves everything. I get that. And I get that you were extremely fond of her. That you loved her. Anything either of you can remember. Would be helpful.
Amalia has had her eyes on you the entire time and falls for the entrancement almost instantly. Ashley, on the other hand, probably has ADHD because her leg keeps bouncing and she is not looking directly in your eye as she's murmuring softly before thinking. She drank them really fast.
How fast?
I don't know. Like, I would hand her a freshly brewed thing and she would instantly sip at it and didn't even give it a chance to cool down. And our beverages are like Tim Hortons level hot when you first get them.
Is that everything?
It was a Friday night. We were packed. We didn't really have time to I didn't have time to watch. Amalia over here was too busy fawning over Macy. Ashley! It's true! It was adorable!
There's nothing wrong with that. It happens. I look back at Ro and Mother Dearest. Is there anything you two think we should ask?
Elaine actually leans in. Did this woman leave the same time you guys did? No, actually. She left a few hours before we did. Macy was going to go BDD for her sorority sisters at the nightlife, and we stayed until about midnight, I think, and she left around 9 o'clock.
Where was she found?
A very sleazy motel.
Do you know if she made it to nightlife?
Yes, she shared her location with me and she sent me some photos. She was having fun.
If I find anything, you will be the first to know. Do you have a number I can contact you at?
Yes. One moment. She digs through her wallet and takes out a small, blank card and writes down on it before handing it to you. It says Amalia and has her phone number on it, along with an email address.
I would like to thank you for taking a moment to chat with me. I know this was not easy for you. If there's anything you need during the time I'm looking into this, please reach out and let me know. Anything you want me to look into, anything you remember. Like I said, I just want to get to the bottom of this. I want to do her justice.
Of course. I understand, and thank you for being willing to listen. As she speaks, you hear a loud thud, and Ashley looks over and says, mother!
Walks over, picks up a board game that had seemed to have fallen off the shelf.
Game's she holding?
Scrabble.
Don't put that back on the shelf. Put it on the table for me for a second. Or bring it here. Bring it here for a sec.
Okay. It's like the 5th time this thing's fallen off the shelf today.
I'm gonna look over at Ro for a moment.
Ro, you now realize Ro has been eerily silent this entire time. And she isn't looking at anyone, but she is now seemingly looking past Ashley.
Where specifically?
Over her shoulder.
Oh, look where she's looking.
You don't see anything.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Who's... Can you talk?
Yeah?
Openly?
Nope.
Her eyes are darting between Ashley and Amalia, who are now looking at you with, like, raised eyebrows.
Can we get the Scrabble board? I think we're gonna play a game.
I mean, sure, I have to get going anyway. My father is waiting to pick me up. Ashley lets out a sigh. Yeah, and Pops is probably gonna be wondering what's taking me so long.
Keep in touch with each other. Let each other know when you get home. Safety and all that, huh?
Well, you've bought a game ticket, so you might as well enjoy the amenities.
Enjoy. I'm going to enjoy
Ashley
playing
says
Scrabble, I
As
think.
she puts down. Ashley puts it down, gives you guys a 2-finger salute
For walking out with Amalia.
As soon as they're gone, I'll put the Scrabble game on the table and shut the door. Is Rose still looking where she was looking?
She's now looking off to the side.
What?
At one of the chairs.
Now that it's just us, what's going on? Who is it?
She glances up at the camera in the corner of the room. We're glancing back. How about we open the game?
I will open the game, spread it out, put all the pieces where they should, mix up the tiles,
Elaine is a bit confused, especially since Ro is now looking through some of the pieces, but also typing on her phone, leaving it off to the side, glancing over her shoulder.
I'll look at the
every once in a while.
I'll look at the phone.
She's typing a few things in the notes section, saying, "Can you speak?" Pauses, types a new sentence. "Is this your dwelling?" She frowns a bit at that, at whatever she's heard, types out another sentence. "How long do we got?" And then, "Can you do something about camera?" And after that, you do smell a slight burning smell as you look over and see the camera is now smoking slightly.
What did you find? Better. Pardon?
Macy!
Let's talk.
And okay, we gotta make sure no one, walks in on this, though. She says she takes out her bag, starts taking out some things. Now, do you want me to do it the more masquerade safe way, or do you actually want to hear it from her?
Mother, do you think you can create a distraction?
Well, I can certainly try. How long do you two need?
Ro?
If we can do this super fast, less than 10 minutes.
Let's make it 15.
All right.
You two have fun, she
Thank
says, as she has this almost mischievous smile on her face as she walks out of the room.
Whenever you're ready.
Ro, a lot faster than when you first saw this. You've seen this ritual before.
She brings out the goblet and the dagger, slices her hand, lets it dribble down into the cup, says a few words as a mist forms, and in the chair opposite of you guys sits one Macy Velour. She is wearing it appears to be a soft, flowy top with black shorts that are ideal for night clubbing in, high heel shoes which are hidden under the table. She looks around, sees you guys like, "Oh my god, you can see me. This is so cool."
Yeah, we can. Hi. It's a pleasure.
Likewise. It has been so long since I've spoken to somebody.
Do you know what's happened?
Yes, I died.
Okay. Now that that's out of the way, you said we have a limited time. What's up? You wouldn't be here if you didn't have something to tell us, and if time is of the essence, I'd rather get through that.
So nothing bad's gonna happen. It's just I'm not haunting this place.
Where are you haunting?
My girlfriend.
You're haunting your girlfriend?
Okay, when you say it like that, it sounds bad. It's not really haunting. I'm looking out for her.
Okay, no, that's fair. I get that. What happened?
I don't know.
What's the last thing you remember?
It's at the club. I was dancing. We were all having fun. And I went to... Now, some of my girlfriends had to use the bathroom, so girl code stated I had to go to the bathroom with them to make sure everyone was all right.
Yeah.
And then I entered the bathroom, and then there was something going on, and it looked like one of the other girls that were at the club was, like someone drugged her drink. And first of all, rude, don't do that. Secondly, we had to make sure she was okay. So since I had the car, I was going to take her outside and make sure she was okay while we waited for the ambulance, even though I said I could easily drive her there because I'm a very good driver. Well, I was a very good driver before. But anyways, I don't know what happened after that.
Do you happen to have any marks on you by any chance?
She looks down at herself. Wait, do you mean like my stretch marks? I have
No.
a few of those, but those are mainly on
No,
my thighs.
and
You can't really see
anything
them.
that looks like it would have maybe broken skin when you died or something like that?
None that I can see.
Can you lift up your hair?
But also, do you know how hard it is to check yourself out when you don't appear in mirrors?
I mean, fair. Can you lift up your hair and turn around for a sec? Because if you can't,
She says as she does as you
the
ask.
thought, if you can't look in a mirror and see yourself, like get somebody else to look at your to check the rest of you that you can't see, like which is your head and neck area, that sort of thing. I'm just looking to see if we have any marks there that you haven't noticed.
She does that. She lifts up her hair, and you see the faintest of lines that actually go all the way around her neck.
I knew it. Okay.
What? Is it a spider? Please tell me it's not a spider.
No,
I cannot deal with a ghost spider being attached to me for the rest of eternity.
It's not a ghost spider. Potentially, it's
Oh, thank God.
the way you died. Do you remember any sharp pains or anything like that?
No, like I said, I can't remember anything after I left the bathroom with the girl that was drugged.
Ro?
Yes.
Anything else you want to ask?
Do you know what kindred means? You mean like the dictionary term? How do you feel about vampires? Super hot in media, not so hot in practicality.
Hi, that's me.
I am so sorry that you can't act like a body heater for your significant other.
So you are familiar with us in real.
So sad.
You are familiar with us in like actual life, then.
I know from the lore that you guys don't have like blood circulation, and if you don't have blood circulation, that means you can't have heat. And if you don't have heat, you can't be a heater for your significant others. Although I do think Rowan might be a vampire. Although he can go out in the sun, but he does not sparkle. Thank God, because that is a terrible way for a vampire to go.
I can confirm Rowan is not.
Darn it.
Bastion is.
I owe Amalia. Great! Now I owe Amalia like $5.
Okay. I'm assuming since you're like dead and all, it's not like actually breaching any code or anything like that. Ro, is there anything else you want to ask?
I'm trying to think if there's anything that can give us a bit more of a clue. You beat a woman in Scrabble. Yes, I did. I was so happy with that.
Was she at the club?
What do you remember about her?
Was she in the bathroom?
I don't think so.
Who was she?
The one in the bathroom or the Scrabble
The
lady?
Scrabble lady.
Her name was Lindsay.
What's her last name?
I didn't get a last name. Why would I ask a last name of someone that just gets up and leaves after being trounced in Scrabble? Very rude.
Do you know if she was known through social media?
I thought she would be, because she had like a little entourage with her, although they could have all been her boyfriends, which no judgment here. No.
don't even think she had a phone with her. She didn't take it out once she didn't take a phone out once the entire time she was here.
The one in the bathroom. Do you know what her name is? Well, was?
I don't remember. She was like really out of it.
Okay. Last chance, Ro.
What is the absolute last thing you remember? She pauses for a moment. You actually see she seems to be starting to flicker a bit, as if the area she's haunting is no longer close, which might be what's happening. I smelled citrus. And with that, she disappears from the circle before Ro can dismiss her. And Ro just blinks. Uh-oh.
What?
I didn't dismiss her.
So,
And she left the circle.
so what does that mean?
I don't know. I never dealt with someone that was haunting a person before.
I'm
gonna have to call my sire.
Echo's gonna whip out the phone, pull out the business card, send off a quick text. Hey, it's Echo. Can you come back for a second? I got one final question for you that we might need to ask.
I'm guessing this is Amalia?
Yes.
Amalia sends back a text message. Is it that important? My father just picked me up.
Sorry, I forgot to ask something.
Can you ask me now?
I'd prefer not to do this over text if at all possible. No paper trail and all that. I'm sorry. I'll pay for the gas, whatever you need. I'll buy your father coffee, whatever.
Okay. It takes about 10 minutes for them to re-arrive. You see that your mother seems to have had a minor medical emergency as a distraction.
Before I step out,
She's trying to assure everyone, I'm fine.
before I step out of the room, I'll look at Ro, wrap it up if you can, and then come out and get me.
Okay. Here's hoping that she actually comes back. As you walk out, your mother seems to be having a minor medical emergency. She's trying to assure everyone, no, it's fine. This happens once in a while. It appears she is bleeding.
Mother, you okay?
Oh, I was just walking by and I accidentally walked too close to the wall and it jostled my chemo port. I'm fine. It's okay. This happens once in a while.
We'll get it taken care of. Do you have the supplies on you that you need to, bandage yourself up for the moment?
Yes, but everyone is just being so kind and caring. And it is true because a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's an old woman who has chemo, who's in trouble. Because a lot of them are like, either, oh, I can get this for clickbait or tell a good story about it. Others are like what appears to be an actual nursing student who is like gently looking at it and trying to put it in place and making sure everything's okay. Amalia re-enters looking confused and then horrified, being like, what's happening? Is everything okay?
It's okay. Just a minor accident. Nobody's fault. She's fine. It happens. First, thank you for coming back.
Okay.
Second, does your father want a coffee or anything? It's on me today.
You see a man walk in. He is wearing somewhat professional clothing, a somewhat, not a super stern expression, but a questioning one, as he looks around, blinks. Elaine? Your mom blinks for a long moment as she looks over. Amir! How are you?
You two know each other?
Yes, Amir is... he's my lawyer.
Oh! I couldn't think of a better time to talk with him. That's convenient.
Amir is... Well, technically, he's not the lawyer you're thinking of. He's technically the family lawyer.
Couldn't think of a better time to talk to him. Convenient, that.
That is convenient. Eventually, Ro comes out from the back, looking less panicked. And she just gives you a...
Echo's gonna quickly ask Amelia, sorry, you didn't get any message from her after she showed up at the nightclub, did you?
She sent me a few selfies here and there. The last message she had was basically saying that the club is pretty good because they gave her free soda since she was the DD.
Can you send me the selfies?
Sure.
Thanks.
She says that she brings out her cell phone, and
that was it. That was...
Sorry.
Yeah.
You actually do see your mother and Amir speaking softly to one another off to the side, him just like gesturing her, like, she's just like, fine, I'm fine, this is good, it's all fine.
Wow. I won't keep you any longer. Again, thank you for tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's no issue.
And
is your mother okay though?
Yeah, she just jostled her chemo port.
Ooh.
It's easily fixable. It's not a big deal. It happens.
All right, if you say so.
I will collect my mother. I'll wait until she's done, and then I'll collect my mother, and I'll collect Ro, and head back out to the car.
Leave. And the moment Ro is back in the car, she's like, okay, I have a good news, bad news situation.
What's the bad news?
We might have accidentally made Macy a little more powerful.
Okay, how powerful?
Well, so usually when ghosts die, they are able to become fully corporeal. Or they can like sometimes move things if they have super strong emotions to the thing and such, which is why she was able to only knock over the Scrabble game.
Okay.
And able to haunt like Amalia, like within like a certain meter radius.
Okay, what's the good news?
I was able to dismiss her.
Okay, so how powerful is she now?
She might be able to like move a lot more board games, and she can be further away from Amalia, although she assured me that she wouldn't want to because in her words, oh my god, my girlfriend is so adorable. Why would I want to be further away from her? I just want to be her guardian angel and make sure she is completely okay. Which, by the way, apparently she's also the reason that place has a calming presence.
Good job.
Macy is, anyway.
All right. We have one more stop to make, and then we're good to go.
Okay.
I'm thinking this might be a good place to wrap.